Hi student, welcome to Ued102 Study Skills Topic 6 entitled Taking Lecture Notes. This topic introduces students to why they should take lecture notes, how to take lecture notes using an effective note-taking methods, and what to include in their notes and reviewing their notes. Content 6.1 Taking Lecture Notes 6.2 Effective Note-Taking System. Do you find it difficult to take notes during the class? The difficulty includes the speed of writing at the same time listening to your lecturer while talking and to interpret the information that you have. This topic we're going to discuss on taking lecture notes. Why there is a need to take lecture notes? Have you ever sat in a class and realized that you had no idea what the professor just said? This is a very common experience for many students. By taking notes, you can improve your concentration because you are focusing your attention on what being said. Ultimately, learning and practicing effective strategies for how to take lecture notes will help you to become a more successful student. First, it's going to promote active listening. Active listening means how the students focus completely during lecture and understand the message clearly. Second, it will provide an accurate record information. Even if you learn some of the information during the class, you probably won't remember by the time you take your exam. Taking notes can actually help you to learn and remember the information. Third, provide an opportunity to interpret, condense, and organize information. You probably already discovered that you can't write as fast as your professors speak. Instead, you can try to understand and often putting the information into your own words. And finally, it will provide an opportunity for repetition of materials. By writing down the information, you are reviewing it several times. What is the characteristics of a good lecture notes? First, it must be the content of the notes. Second, how you organize the notes so it's easier for you to find and do revision later. Prepare before taking lecture notes. By reading the text assignment before the lecture class, it will allow you to build up some background about the topics. You also can have some idea what the lecturer is talking about. And by reading before class, you can organize your notes easier. Besides, you need to be familiar with the key terms and the names related to the topic. What are the steps in listening and note-taking process? First, decide to listen. From listening, you're able to receive message accurately. You need to pay attention and select relevant information only. The information that you get must be interpreted and condensed the right way. And then you need to organize the information that you have. Finally, take notes using an appropriate method. Become an active listener. Many students confuse hearing and listening. Hearing is a passive process. It is non-selective and involuntary, while listening, on the other hand, is an active process that involves receiving, attending to, and assigning meaning. To become an active listener, first you need to read the text assignment before the lecture to build up background on the topic. It's best for you to review your last set notes, especially before the lecture begins. Please sit in the lecture lines of vision so that the lecturer notices your presence. Focus your attention physically by sitting up and making eye contact with the speaker. Also focus your attention mentally by eliminating or avoiding distraction. Do listen with an open mind, setting aside your own bias. If you disagree with the lecturer's opinion, please control your emotions, respond and talk politely. Listen to the main point and take notes. You may check with others, classmates or lecturer at the end of the lecture if you're unsure about some of the information. Do you take note effectively? This topic will discuss the effective note-taking system. Dozens of systems have been developed to help students become more effective note takers. Some of them are quite complex and provide explicit details on every step of the process. The corner method has an excellent format for setting up your note page. You can use an 8.5 by 11-inch notebook. It has a recall column and summary column at the side. Note is the section where you take your notes during the course of the lecture. Use bullet, sentence, and shorthand. Cues question referring to main point, visual clues, and other clues. Fill this section after the class. And summary is the most important point, and idea will go here. This section fill in when you are reviewing the process. This is an example note using a corner method. It has 3 sections: notes, the cues, and the summary. You may put the main point in the cue section so that it's easy for you to find the particular explanation about the topic. What to include in your notes? Always note all headings, which is the main point that are made during a lecture. Listen for all details, some of the details that you may want to focus on. Any facts or explanation that expand or explain the main point that are mentioned. Definition for words, especially if your lecturer repeats them several times. Anything that is written on the whiteboard or during the online class. Drawings, charts or problems that are written on the board. Any conclusional statement if necessary. And some lecturers refer the discussion format when teaching. You can easily take notes on a discussion. Taking note in maths and science classes require special strategies. First, you need to separate the notebook. It can get confusing when you have all your notebook from all the subjects crammed into one notebook. You may want to think about having a separate notebook for all your subjects, so your science note don't get mixed up with your maths and language arts notes. Start a brand new page for a new topic. It doesn't matter if the last section stopped halfway through a page. That subject of notes has ended and you need to start a new page. This will prevent any confusion when going back to your notes to study of later. Leave space. When you beg to examine your notes, you may want to enter an additional information. Leave yourself space to flesh out ideas. Write all your steps to problems, particularly when math is involved, assuming you understand how to get from one point to another, and it will make sense during reviewing your notes. Write down every little steps. Write keyword and phrase. This is not the place for complete sentence. You likely won't have time to write all the extra words. The extra text can be a distraction. Highlight important words and phrases, and do not fill up the entire page with highlighter. And lastly, learn scientific units and use terms. For example, write G instead of grams or K instead of Kelvin. Use shorthand notation for words you use a lot. And if you are reviewing your notes after the class, you can identify any holes in your coverage. Using online lecture during class. First, identify which platform the lecturer used to upload the lecture notes. Download the note prior or before the class. Second, you may print it out or go green with the lecture notes, provided that you can take extra note necessary during the class. Third, put an information received during the class and use your own words to enhance your understanding. And lastly, use your lecture notes to edit and review your notes later. Talking about review your notes, there is 3 ways to review your notes. First, recite from the headings. You can review your notes by using heading or topics to prompt your memory. Cover the information under each heading and try to recall all the points related to the topic. Then check your notes to see whether you miss anything. This review method helps you to learn material in an integrated way. Second, recite from the recall question. When you think you know the information in your notes, use the recall question to test your memory of the main point and supporting details. This review method will help you to learn the material in an isolated way. You learn a specific answer to a specific question. Talk about the information to others. Another way to study the information in your notes is simply to talk about it. Put the information in your own words and explaining it to the others in an excellent way. Get together with your note-taking friends or study group to review your notes. That's it for topic 6. Please try out the activities for topic 6. Thank you.